would seem rather disloyal and would leave a bad taste. And, you know, after 7.5 years, they deserve better than that.
Machin was sacked last Monday. Quiet and withdrawn, he was accused of lacking a rapport with City's demanding fans. That's cost him his job.
I'd like to be judged all the time on my work that I do with the team and with the club. And as far as I'm concerned, there's been nothing but progress for this football club since I've been here. And certainly I can go now with an absolute clear conscience that everything is geared for the future.
Kenny Dalglish is hardly football's most extrovert personality either. The difference is Dalglish has guided his team back to the top of the First Division. So Main Road under the microscope is the setting for the most intriguing confrontation in today's fixture list. Manchester City versus Liverpool is our Barclays First Division special. Later we report on the North West's progress on 3 fronts. There's highlights of Everton against Coventry City from Goodison Park, the big Second Division derby between Joe Royals Oldham and Blackburn Rovers, and cup fighters Tranmere Rovers battling for precious Third Division promotion points against Bury. But we start here at Main Road with Manchester City reeling from another managerial upheaval, just 6 months after Mel Machin led them proudly back into the First Division. At times, City's young Braves seem to have learnt quickly. Within weeks came their finest moment.
Great ball for David White from Ian Bishop. Early cross, chance at the far post, Hinchcliffe. That's just marvellous stuff.
But Manchester City have slipped dramatically from the heights they touched that day. Just 2 wins from 8 league games, increasing the pressure on chairman Peter Swales to act. Last Monday, he did so, sacking his 5th manager in 15 years. The new man takes over a club currently at the bottom of Division 1. Tony Book and John Dean are in charge of the team for today's game, but the fans, blamed for their part in Machin's downfall, have their own strong views on a successor.
I didn't want Joe Royal. I certainly don't want Dave Bassett. Kendall's probably the best of the lot, or give the job to Tony Book.
I don't think they should go for a big name. They've always gone for big names. They should look for someone probably within. You know, maybe Tony Book. He did a good job last time.
Swales should give Tony Book the job and let him do the business for him, because he's the only one that can do it.
David Plate, I've always fancied David Plate.
No, Tony Book's the best.
He did a good job at Luton.
It's a cutthroat situation at Main Road. I think nobody will come here while Peter Swales is here.
Events at Main Road have partly overshadowed a momentous week for Liverpool's players. Memories today still fresh from Wednesday's emotional return to the scene of English football's worst crowd disaster. A surprise defeat to struggling Sheffield Wednesday, almost irrelevant. Liverpool still top, following last week's revenge victory in the Championship rematch with Arsenal.
It's going to be Barnes. Curled brilliantly! What a fabulous free kick goal!
Liverpool are hanging on to their lead on goal difference, 19 places but only 12 points above City. They do have an excellent record at Main Road over the years. Well, Manchester City have lost 8 of their last 9 home games against Liverpool, so this side taking on traditional as well as present difficulties. Mark Seagraves is at right back, and at left back, Jerry Taggart making his First Division debut. No place in defence today for the usual captain, Brian Gale. 4 in midfield for City, with Ian Brightwell preferred to Neil McNabb, who's not fully fit, but is a substitute. David White is given a new role today down the left-hand side. 2 up front, Clive Allen and Trevor Morley. The most interesting selection, though, is of Mark Seagraves, who was signed from Liverpool in 1987. His first team experience there was restricted to a couple of cup ties, but it is quite an occasion for Seagraves in this, his first game for City since January. Liverpool do have a serious injury situation. The defence unable to call on Alan Hansen, Steve Nicol or Barry Venison. There's plenty of class, though, in midfield. Further forward, the major absentee is John Barnes, but Kenny Dalglish is still able to field 10 full internationals. The substitutes, though, really do come from the realms of the Reds reserves. Mike Marsh, who's made just 1 league appearance for Liverpool, and Nick Tanner, who's still waiting for his first call-up following his move from Bristol Rovers. A North West occasion has a Londoner as referee. Tony Ward has only been here once before as a boyhood Spurs fan more than 30 years ago. The action starts after a morning of speculation about a possible new Manchester City manager. about what the lineups would be for both sides. And though they're separated by the entire length of the league table, neither satisfied with their style at the moment. Jan Molby is wearing the number 10 for Liverpool. And it looks as though Gary Gillespie will play at right back. What great resources Liverpool do have. Gillespie fit at a time when others are damaged, and Molby would relish the opportunity of a longer run in the starting lineup. Steve Redmond has been restored to the captaincy today. Redmond again. Staunton. Remember that Liverpool lost to the side that were bottom on Wednesday, Sheffield Wednesday, facing the current bottom club in Manchester City now, and Lake skipping past Hussein, and Paul Lake drives on. Urged on too by some frenetic main road support. But Beardsley has got in behind Redmond. Rush is making up the yards in the middle. Oh, and when the cross came, it's come from Molby. It took Rush by surprise a little, but Beardsley was able to snake out a leg. But City pick up the tempo again. Spoilt, though, that attack by the offside flag against Allen. Rush. Molby against Seagraves. Molby's got the strength. Dibble outside the area, but Ian Rush rolls it into an empty goal, and Liverpool have scored first. Rush, who got the winner the last time Liverpool were here in the league, almost 3 years ago. And that's a real blow to City. Molby using power. Dibble was a little unlucky. It rolled straight to the alert Rush, and he did the rest. 9 minutes gone. Manchester City 0, Liverpool 1. Ian Rush. How will City respond? They badly needed a good start in this spell between managers. So for Rush, his 8th goal of the season. Morley. Here's Bishop. Painted to shoot and then whipped in a ball that Gillespie dealt with very calmly, even though David White was coming in behind him. Characteristic composure. Whelan. Seagraves, and it's the second touch that took the ball away by Brightwell from Molby. And Jan Molby again making himself the extra man coming down that left-hand side. It's Beardsley on the edge of the area. Brightwell not given time to settle. Beardsley's got plenty to play for. His club place and his England place has been up for discussion, shall we say. And Peter Beardsley will appreciate the need to stay a Liverpool regular, to stay in England's World Cup plans. But it's Liverpool whose defenders are in trouble here, because Paul Lake made another splendid burst from midfield, but couldn't supply the sting in the shot. Houghton. McMahon. Some desperate attempts to stop him making progress, notably by Seagraves. Tony Ward was anxious to let play go on while Liverpool were in possession. But here's White, the sprinter. Well, Staunton saved Liverpool potential embarrassment then. It's a real head-to-head contest with both sides looking particularly dangerous in their attacking play, but look at this. Liverpool have another injury. And Gary Gillespie, who's been so unlucky in that respect, looks as though he's got to go off, but it's given an opportunity to a Liverpool recruit from Bristol Rovers, where he had plenty of league experience. But this is the first division for Nicky Tanner. Dibble's kick dropping straight for Mulby. Rush, Beardsley, on it goes for Houghton. Whelan, well read by Bishop. He's got two to the left, one to the right. And through the middle is Lake. He's in on Grobbelaar, and he's put it wide. That looked the moment for Manchester City to get back into the game. Ian Bishop orchestrated the break. Lake ran well off the ball to make the pass possible, but he couldn't finish. Will that be the story of the day for Manchester City? Rush. Upfield from Redmond. Staunton. Beardsley, Houghton, and Ray Houghton denied by Dibble. Staunton, oh, and Dibble again. Excellent goalkeeping. Two different problems, really, he was faced with, and look at Grobbelaar's reaction. Dibble was out quickly. He had to drop low there to block from Houghton. He had to reposition quickly and haul it in from Staunton. Beardsley. Slipping Redmond. And it was the toe of Taggart that sent it behind for the corner. Staunton to take the corner. Hussein poised to make a run from the edge of the penalty area. In he comes. Rush. Whelan. Now Houghton. Oh, and Beardsley. It was a reflex stop from Dibble. Beardsley again, and it's wide this time. Manchester City living on their nerves and their goalkeepers' reactions. Twice, Peter Beardsley frustrated. But Manchester City, who could have been level through Paul Lake, but could easily have been a couple of goals adrift. There's still one down. White. Well, that's the advantage of playing him on the left, because he can cut in onto his stronger side and blaze away at goal as he did then. Grobbelaar dealt with it only with some difficulty. Bishop to take the corner. Came off Staunton first of all, then Hussein. Seagraves. Staunton in the way a second time. A little too much height on it perhaps from Bishop, but Morley made it his. Morley again, it was hooked away from him, perhaps dangerously by Tanner. McMahon. There's a run on here for Rush. But Redmond had got the edge through his anticipation. Whelan. McMahon did well on the stretch. Houghton, Rush. Staunton's away on the left, and Houghton saw him, but didn't find him. One-on-one, Ablett and Allen. McMahon. Oh, and Clive Allen very nearly intercepted that. McMahon. Here's Hussein. Play congested into midfield at the moment. Beardsley might solve that particular puzzle. Seagraves with the tackle. Oh, and Allen's only given the ball to Whelan when he was looking for Lake. Houghton against Taggart. And Redmond there before Beardsley. Allen. Everything to the left for City. Oh, it's a beautifully measured pass for David White. On a couple of occasions, Manchester City have looked way above their station at the bottom of the First Division. David White, though, took that shot with his weaker left foot, and I'm afraid it showed. Clive Allen, though, cut Liverpool apart then with a beautifully weighted ball out to the City left. Well, Allen, the arch opportunist, hasn't really had a chance himself in the first half. Well, Ablett possibly would have benefited from a call then. He had to take the safe course. Redmond. Morley. It was more brute force than finesse at the end. It nearly told, and Grobbelaar was disconcerted. Dalglish will have in his mind what he's going to say to his players at half-time. Beardsley. The first half not over yet. Oh, and Beardsley's hit the post. It is over now, and Beardsley very nearly had a telling final word. A rumbustious first half. Andy Dibble really has kept Manchester City in it after they lost a goal to Ian Rush as early as the 9th minute. A real blow to City. Mulby using power. Dibble was a little unlucky. It rolled straight to the alert Rush, and he did the rest. Paul Lake played his part with some intelligent runs from midfield, and David White was a danger too. But at half-time at Main Road, it's Manchester City 0, Liverpool 1. Well, 1-0 to Liverpool here at Main Road. It could so easily have been 2, though. Peter Beardsley, for whom a goal wouldn't come amiss to augment his usual thoughtful contribution to Liverpool's build-up. I just wonder whether the last bounce of the ball robbed him before it hit the post. Manchester City's home form is paramount for them. They've been so unproductive in away games. They start the second half. Hendry spurning the back pass, so maybe that's an indication of Manchester City's attitude. And Gary Gillespie, a forlorn figure, watching from the touchline. Beardsley suddenly realised he had room, and he's putting it to good effect. Peter Beardsley has done it this time. A superb solo goal, when he must have been wondering whether it was going to be one of those days when it wouldn't go in for him. So just as they did early in the first half, Liverpool have emphasised a grip on the game with a goal, and this is brilliant from Beardsley. 2-0, he just was aware that City weren't as close to him as they should have been, and they never got close enough. Houghton is free. It came off Seagraves. The second goal for Liverpool 3 minutes into the second half. Well, it was just as if Kenny Dalglish has shaken his cocktail again and come up with the right flavour. Hussein in a 50-50 ball with Morley and making sure that Liverpool won it. Out. Taggart sticking to Houghton's side. Oh! Maybe the pace on the header surprised Dibble. And in the end, he played safe. Staunton this time. It's over Hussein, not beyond Redmond. Whelan. Houghton, the flag has stayed down. It's Rush, he's round the goalkeeper. But thanks to some determined challenging by Taggart, Ian Rush was never really set with a clear sight of goal. Dibble was lured out. Taggart just forced him wide, and the angle was too much for Rush. Morley. McMahon. Whelan. McMahon onside. Played on by Redmond, in fact. Surely Liverpool will get another one this time. They have! With Dibble left bewildered by Steve McMahon's clever finish. But the goalkeeper was left totally exposed. City's defensive shortcomings to the fore again. Caught out by a runner from midfield. And McMahon kept looking as though he was going to play the ball inside to Rush, but he wrong-footed Dibble. It's 3 for Liverpool. And now it's a penalty to Manchester City. Grobbelaar on Morley. straight from the kickoff. Well, just when it looked all up for the home side, they could revive their hopes. Clive Allen has that responsibility. And scores. City could come again. Allen wrong-footing Grobbelaar. "15 minutes gone in the second half. If you're struggling to keep abreast with events, it's now Manchester City 1, Liverpool 3. We're going to have a City substitution. On comes David Oldfield, off goes Jerry Taggart. Rush. Ooh, and Hendry finding it hard to cope then with first division pace, but I think disturbed also by Dibbles' reluctance, or Hendry believed reluctance, to come and get it. Oldfield. Manchester City roaring forward. Oh, and Grobbelaar stops it, becoming 3-2 from Bishop. City have suddenly got a second win from the penalty incident. A game rich in entertainment. Bishop met it well too. Whelan, Houghton, Whelan. You daren't look away from this game. There's something happening every second. Staunton and White, the two players left on the ground. Staunton looking the more seriously hurt. White's okay, I think. But it does give us a chance to look back on the penalty incident, which has resuscitated Manchester City. Morley just brushed the ball, and Grobbelaar thumped into Trevor Morley. Staunton is limping, but staying on. That was Seagraves right in there. And there's going to be trouble here, perhaps, between the two substitutes, Tanner and Oldfield. Happily, they were both concentrating on the ball. Looked for an instant as though the elbows were going to start flying. It's a free kick to City. From Bishop. Grobbelaar, a terrific punch under pressure, and Brightwell trying to supply a terrific shot. Oldfield, and then Seagraves. Mike Marsh, who is only 20, wondering whether he's going to get another taste of the First Division. Staunton is still there, but for how much longer? They have to decide. Ablett, Rush, oh, and Ablett saw the possibilities of going further forward. McMahon always does that. He really is something of a metronome from midfield for Liverpool. Steve McMahon, he sets the tempo, and it's usually a pretty racy tempo. Beardsley, onside, in behind Redmond. Is it another one for Liverpool? Because of Dibble, the answer is no. Andy Dibble stopped that one flush in the face. Mike Marsh played as a substitute last season against Charlton. Now he reappears against Manchester City in place of Staunton. He struggled to make it to the touchline with that pronounced limp. Hussein. So versatile at Liverpool that Jan Mulby slots in at centre-back and Gary Ablett moves to left-back. It was Lake. Seagraves. The way forward for City is clearly through the acceleration of David White. They were over-anxious then to get him into the game. Liverpool will still need plenty of resilience, even though they lead by 2 goals. Manchester City suddenly in a position where they had nothing to lose. They can throw caution to the wind. The game seemed beyond them. Houghton has to join in the defending. Redmond looks to plant the ball long and in a dangerous fashion. As Ablett's header wasn't fully a clearing header. Marsh, excellent ball. Beardsley. Redmond trying to hold him up. That flew, and off Bishop. It was something of an off-break. And it was spinning in towards the post that Dibble was desperately trying to cover. And it could have been a very bizarre moment. Whelan. Mulby. This is Houghton. There are gaps appearing at the back for Manchester City again. Redmond making sure that his side stayed in possession. White. To the left is Oldfield. Picked out by Lake's pass. Oldfield trying to take on Tanner. He's got past him. Oh, Mulby, it's a stray one. Grobbelaar didn't appreciate that. And then similarly from Redmond, making Hendry hurry. Well, that, as they say, is painful. Allen. Is there going to be some pain for Liverpool? Mulby somehow got the ball flying up and over the goal. Intelligent ball from White, and that could have gone in. Off Mulby. Instead it's a corner when Colin Hendry has recovered his breath. They want him upfield. Manchester City are 3-1 down. Lake. More clever footwork. Bishop. It's an awkward one for Grobbelaar. Not only catching the ball well, but initiating the counter-attack. Marsh, Beardsley. Good work by Oldfield. Is he going to set off now? Well, Liverpool gave him no opportunity for that. White. Albi's drawn out of the middle. Hussein hasn't got the ball behind for the corner. This is Allen. Clive Allen will shoot from anywhere, as anyone who's ever played with him will tell you. There were better placed City players in the middle, but Allen was close enough to feel that he was entitled to blast at goal. A cutback might have been more profitable. It's a corner. And the ball kept on going as Manchester City en masse were arriving. And it's 3 against 2 in Liverpool's favour. This is McMahon. He's got help from Rush and from Marsh. Is he going to get a goal for Liverpool? No, not this time. Houghton. And Whelan looking to catch a goalkeeper off his line. But Mike Marsh had a sight of goal then that might have brought him his first division return. Brightwell. Ablett. It's just a question now of whether Liverpool can profit from a counter-attack, as they might well do here from Beardsley. And now Rush, and Dibble has had an excellent match, even though he's been beaten 3 times. But for Dibble, it could have been another 6-goal slaughtering for Manchester City. Brightwell. Got the Houghton and Tanner. That was deflected, and it's a corner. You have to admire the character of Manchester City. They keep coming forward. Glanced out by Marsh. Rush now. If McMahon can run half the length of the pitch here, Liverpool are in again. He settles for help. He's got it from Rush. And Dibble this time cannot keep him at bay. It all started with Rush for Liverpool here at Main Road, and it may well have finished that way. McMahon led the breakout, and Rush in a duel with Dibble this time was the winner. Two goals here for Ian Rush, the best perhaps for Liverpool from Peter Beardsley, a superb solo effort. Steve McMahon ran clear to get one for himself, and all City could show from a display of character and courage, a penalty from Clive Allen. Liverpool have their customary victory here, and though they have been short of their own chilling consistency, they coped much better today when the speculation stopped and the action began. A very eventful match at Main Road, and it's finished. Manchester City 1, Liverpool 4.
I suppose, Peter, when you look back on the day, it hasn't been a very good one in the quest for a manager or in the quest for some First Division points.
No, I thought on the question of the points, I thought the team did very well. I just think they showed the character. We've lost to a very good side, but I thought they did very well. Very pleased with them today.
But does that hasten the results? Does that hasten your chase to get somebody into the manager's office here?
No, well, we're obviously looking for a manager. We had our sights set on somebody, Joe, as you know. But we weren't allowed to speak to him. We just heard him on television. He was very fair about the whole thing. So we just start again now. No names, nobody particularly in mind. We'll have a chat when everybody's gone home. Start again.
Is that particularly disappointing that Joe Royle turned you down, bearing in mind, obviously, you would like to get the post filled as quickly as possible?
Well, of course it's disappointing, but I mean, I can understand his position. I can understand Oldham's position. If I was Oldham Athletic, I'd have fought as hard to keep him as they did, and good luck to them.
You're not a man to go into print unless you're pretty sure of the ground you stand on. And this morning it did seem that Joe Royle was bound for the job here. Were you very surprised, though, although you understand his reasons?
I was a little bit surprised, but I mean, I know these things happen. I mean, we had 3 approaches for our manager when we were going for promotion, and I didn't allow any of them to speak to him, so I can't complain, really.
I know a lot of Manchester City fans will be watching. What can you tell them about the timescale now?
Well, we'll be working at it all the time. They know that we try to get things done as quickly. I just hope we'll be allowed to get on with it without too much speculation. I'm certainly not going to mention any names or throw any names about, that's for certain. We just want to get on with it and try and see if we can get as good a man as we think Joe would have been.
Well, Manchester City stay bottom of the First Division. Sheffield Wednesday and Charlton were both beaten. But Queen's Park Rangers, the other First Division club, which sacked its manager this week, won 3-0 at Crystal Palace to jump 4 places. Just before Joe Royle turned down the job here at Main Road, his Oldham team were involved in a vital Second Division derby with promotion possibilities against Blackburn Rovers. With news of that and from elsewhere in the Northwest, here's Robert McCaffrey.
Emotion and passion at Boundary Park. Neat Oldham football mixed with the Don't Go Joe chants. 23 minutes gone, Roger Palmer on the right. Ian Marshall, shot saved by Darren Collier. Nick Henry firing off the crossbar. Oldham unbeaten in 23 matches at home. Blackburn with only 1 defeat in the league away from home this season. Their best chance created 5 minutes before the break. Frank Stapleton setting Alan Irvine clear, but Andy Rhodes spreading himself to very good effect. Joe Royle really looks to have a side capable of competing with the Second Division's best. Andy Ritchie playing with 5 stitches in a head wound. Set up Rick Holden on the hour for the first. Holden's the man with a polytechnic degree in human movement. Demonstrates the skills vividly in the celebration. Oldham's second, created down the right again. Neil Adams this time supplying the cross. Nick Henry teeing it up for Ritchie to crash in, his 10th of the season. Different class is how Joe Royle described his top scorer after the game. Ritchie is very much the man in form. Mark Atkins almost got a consolation late on. Good striker of a dead ball. Woodwork the best he could do, leaving Oldham and Joe Royle with 3 more valuable points. Perfect outcome for the Oldham faithful on a special night. And the rest, as they say, is history. The win keeps Oldham very much in the frame. What a boost for all concerned at Boundary Park now that Royle has said he'll be staying at the helm. Meanwhile, Blackburn slipped to 8th place. Everton, 6 games without a win. Time for a number of changes at Goodison Park, and no better way to get back on the rails than with a stunning goal like Stuart McCall's opener on 22 minutes. Everton overshadowing a Coventry side without the midfield bite of David Speedy. Tony Cottee had been preferred up front to leading scorer Mike Newell. Cottee very alert, but unlucky on the day. His header cleared off the line. Cottee, one of 3 changes, in fact, introduced by Colin Harvey. His partnership with Graham Sharp working smoothly, doing well to turn, but firing just wide. A real bonus for Everton, the return of skipper Kevin Ratcliffe back after 9 weeks, but it was his partner Dave Watson who really grabbed the headlines with a stunning header. Watson like an exocet. Only one place that ball was going, 50 minutes gone. Everton really dominating a game in which they could have had a lot more goals. Cottee again set up this time by John Ebrell. The daisy cutter too hot to hold for Steve Grizovic. Peter Beagrie weaving his left-wing artistry, creating the opening for Graham Sharp. Can't really come much closer than that. 2-0 Everton, now just 6 points behind leaders Liverpool. In confirmation, Liverpool still on top. Goal difference separating them and Aston Villa, who won at home to Nottingham Forest. Arsenal face Manchester United on the match later today. Tranmere third, Bury fifth at start of play, tied at the top of Division 3. Tranmere beaten 4-0 by Tottenham in the week. Looked the sharper early on. Martin Pike's wicked cross, the cavalry arriving just too late. David Fairclough, starting his first game for Tranmere, has to impress with competition for places at Prenton Park hotting up. His strength began the intricate move for the first goal. Hughes, Martindale, Hughes, Fairclough, Hughes, Martindale, Muir. Time to go it alone. Might as well with everybody backing off. Coming up, a good strike. Deflected off Peter Valentine, beating Gary Kelly. 7 minutes gone. Dave Martindale preferred in the side to Eddie Bishop. Second, a lot more simple. Harvey's long throw. The looping header from Chris Malkin, good enough to beat Kelly this time. Steve Vickers following up not needed. Malkin in his favourite central role getting his 10th of the season. Bury have won just once in 5 games. They began an amazing comeback, a real contrast in styles. They prefer the simple, direct approach. David Lee showing why. Jamie Hoyland, Liam Robinson beating Nixon to the touch for his 8th of the season. Second half, another simple goal. Scrappy in the middle, but credit to Tony Cunningham, the big striker, doing well to hold off Steve Vickers twice before finding the perfect cross for Charlie Bishop on the far post. 2-2. Bury really had a grip of the game at this stage, but Tranmere should have done better from Jim Harvey's free kick. Malkin getting above Tony Cunningham, but unable to direct the header. Coming up, a controversial penalty decision. Cunningham again. May have been fouled by Dave Higgins there, but he looked to shove Steve Mungall there. Referee Steve Bell giving him the benefit of the doubt. Liam Robinson beginning to enjoy himself now. His 9th of the season, 75 minutes gone. 2 minutes later, the simple style yet again. Cunningham inevitably with a flick. Mungall's mistake. You've got to be quick to catch David Lee, though. Eric Nixon did, no doubt this time. Robinson choosing the other post. 4-2 Bury. Tranmere conceding 4 goals for the second time in 4 days. That win lifting Bury to 3rd in Division 3. Level on points now with Rotherham and Notts County. Tranmere slip back to 5th.
Rob McCaffrey reporting there. And in a few hours' time, the focus returns to the First Division. And the live match here on Granada, it's Arsenal against Manchester United at Highbury. A game to revive glowing memories for United fans. Hughes. Phelan. Arsenal could lose here by an increasing number. They are now 4-1 down. Brian McClure. So the rematch takes place later today. Arsenal against Manchester United at Highbury. And you can see the whole game live on Granada starting at 3:25. Here at Main Road, managerless Manchester City failed despite a cavalier approach against Liverpool, who are still out in front despite those injuries.
With all these injuries, there's no chance that the manager might play, is there?
I hope not, crossed. You haven't seen him in training. It's ridiculous. But now, joking aside, I don't really know what's going to happen. He's the manager. If he picks himself, then there's someone going to be annoyed. I know I would be if he played in my position.